Yo, what is going on, you Bisharps? Today we're going to be playing some games with Baby Blounds with the Greens engine. Now, you guys know how much I dislike Greens, but this deck did get top 4 at NAIC a couple weeks ago. So I thought we may as well give it a shot. Yeah, don't like the Greens engine generally, but Nathaniel Kaplan did take this Greens engine Baby Blacephalon deck to a top 4 finish at the NAIC. So I thought we may as well give it a try, see how it goes. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't have too much to say on the list. This looks pretty much like what I would like a Greens build of the Baby Blacephalon deck to look like. So I don't have too many thoughts on the list. The one of Bill's analysis is basically just like a 5th green, so I like that. Or that's the idea behind it. It doesn't get you exactly what you want like the Greens does, but you'd rather play a supporter for the turn that can set up for the turn 2 welder than not. So that's what the builds is in there for. I kind of like that. He's got the Victini in here. Not a huge fan, I guess I would say, of the Blacephalon GX, but thought we may as well just play his exact 60, see how it goes. Maybe have some thoughts on it after the games. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into those games, and we'll see how the Greens build runs. First game here, we are going first up against a Pikachu deck. All right, definitely want to find another Pokemon if possible. His Pikachu Full Blitz turn 1 is not impossible, and definitely not more likely than not, but very possible that we get knocked out on our first turn. So we definitely need to try and find, there we go, 2 Nest Balls, or Nest Ball and a Blacephalon. Definitely need to find some more Blacephalons here, and we got them. I don't want to actually commit an energy this turn, because I might want to Welder one down instead, so I can try and take a knockout next turn. But I think we're just going to go ahead and pass here and not attach, because I think more likely than not, I want to Welder one energy into play. So this matchup I think is definitely probably favored for us here with the Blacephalon deck. I think we're definitely favored, but it's probably pretty close. They usually play double Let Loose in the Pikachu deck, and then the Tag Bolt turn can be really annoying as well. So I think definitely a close matchup overall. I think we are maybe slightly favored. Maybe 50-50. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a 50-50 most likely. It's definitely close. It's definitely a close matchup. Like I said, the what's it called is really annoying. The really annoying to deal with. The Tag Bolt turn, the Let Looses that the Pikachu deck plays as well are super annoying, and they don't really have to ever attack with Pikachu. They don't have to really ever put Pikachu into the active if they don't want to, until they need to, because we just can't force it up. We don't play Guzma. We play the one Guzma, but like we can't be aggressive with our Guzma really ever. Kind of have to hope to draw into it when we do, and then utilize it that way. Sometimes we can greens for it, but that's kind of like a 2-turn step. You can maybe find it with Pokegear, but yeah, it's not something where it's like we can ever be super aggressive. And it does look like they have the turn 1 full blitz here. Energy switches. They have a Let Loose to back this up. I think this game is all but over. This is really how the matchup goes. Let's see if they have the Let Loose to back this up. If not, all right, it looks like it is just going to be the full blitz to the Zeraora. I'm not a huge fan of this play from my opponent. Maybe their second Pikachu was prized. They're just loading up the active. All right, I'm not a big fan of this either. Without the Let Loose to go with it. Who knows? It might work out for them. It's very possible we get to knock this thing out though now. Let's see. We got the Welder for 2. We currently need 2 more energy here, and then we'll have the knockout. That's not energy. All right, so we're gonna be off on the attack by a little bit here. Man, that's unfortunate. Trying to think of how hard I want to actually hit this thing. Let's use these Pokegears first. See what we can find. That is not a Welder. We need a Welder off this one. Decide where we're going to play out our turn. All right, so now we are in a tough spot. About to get Tag bolted. We're 2 energy off from being able to just knock this out. Super greedy play from our opponent. If we had drawn anything to get energy out of our discard pile, or like a Fiery Flint or something, we would have been in actually a pretty good spot. So now this guy's got to come down. I'm debating if I just want to just Laser for the turn. Probably can't do that. We could Fireball Circus, hit it for that. That doesn't seem very worth it either. I think we are just going to go with the Blazer, actually. Yeah, I think it has to be the Blazer. Flip. I want to keep the energy in hand. We know where our Guzma is, but that's not that's not too useful of information. Yeah, now we're in kind of a rough spot. We were looking like it might be okay, but not quite. And we are going to get destroyed by this Tag Bolt here. And really have no way to kind of respond to it afterwards. We didn't hit a Welder off the Pokegears. I guess I could have waited a turn to play down the Pokegears. That would have been fine if I had waited a turn, I guess. But I went with it and did not work out. So yeah, we're going to get Tag Bolt here, lose 2 more Blacephalons. And I think we have to use greens or a stretcher and a welder. I don't really see any other option here besides that. We'll see here. Yeah, this is why this matchup can be rough. I don't know. I was like saying it seems like it could be favored. I don't know. It really depends on one card late was the fire crystal. It sometimes seems like it could be favored. Other times not so much. There's our last welder. So yeah, we are getting towards the end of it here. We are definitely in a very rough spot. Still winnable, I guess. Still definitely potentially winnable. But not looking great. Not gonna lie, not looking great. Let's see. We'll definitely try and focus on whatever has energy on it. So I think I'd rather just save the energy in hand and pass back over to our opponent. Yeah, not looking great. Not looking great at all. Matchup can be rough, man. The tag bolt turn. They didn't even have to let loose combo with it. If they had let loose to combo with it, we would have been in a terrible spot, I think. There's that full blitz knockout. Go ahead, thin out their deck a little bit more. Just the one, it looks like, to the 0. All right, so we're gonna have to welder to our Blacephalon, which we have that set up. And we have the energy to knock. Oh, we almost have the energy to knock out the Pikachu. We actually don't quite have. We need one more energy here. We need either flint. Oh man. All right, so we're gonna have to dig a little bit deeper. We did get the heat factory that will let us dig a little bit deeper. Heat factory, use that. And we whiffed. All right, so we're gonna go down with a loss here with triple greens in hand to the Pikachu here. The first loss here to the Pikachu deck. You know, that's kind of the why I'm not a huge fan of the greens build. It's a little bit slower than something like the Jirachi build with the Lily and stuff. You can fall into hands like this sometimes. They had a pretty good start though. The turn 1 full blitz into turn 2 tag bolt. We were 1 energy off of the response in the knockout, or 1 energy recovery card, I think, or a flint. So unfortunately, I lost there in the first game. Hopefully, the deck can rally back a little bit, and we'll see a little bit better draws in the next one. Into another one here. Pretty decent hand. Once again on the start, we got the greens. We got the nest ball for the Blacephalon, so we don't have to go greens for a nest ball. We're up against another Pika deck. So we'll see if it goes the same. They're going first, which is even scarier than them going second, because it's way easier to get off a turn 1 full blitz when you go first. But there's an Eevee that's switching things up a little bit. Definitely like to see that. I'm a big fan of Jolteon right now in general, in lightning decks in general. This also means maybe it's just like a Zapdos Jolteon build, which is even easier for us to deal with. So yeah, we'll see what they've got cooking up here. They got the Jolteon out, and then there's a Lily. Yeah, like I said, if it's not Pikachu, I don't really care. There's a Zapdos, so I'm thinking, yeah, there's a second Zapdos. It's probably just a full lightning Zapdos build going on here. It's way better for us. Oops, I should have played the nest ball first. Definitely gonna grab the nest ball, so it's already not that big of a deal. Definitely should have played it the other way around a little bit. Get some Blacephalons out for sure. Blacephalon, and then we're gonna go ahead and check the Pokegear, see if this finds us a welder. No welder, so we need to get Flint and Welder off this greens. Flint and Welder. Yeah, we need to get Flint and Welder off the greens, and then we'll Flint away the bills plus the top deck. Pretty much no matter what it is. We definitely want to save the Lucamine Prism Star for the Lucamine for the 3 prize turn, and then we'll kind of just go from there. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be getting rid of the top deck plus the bills. Definitely do not want to get rid of the Lucamine Prism Star or the Fire Crystal. Definitely want to hold on to both those. So that's the game plan. Start attacking on the next turn. They do have a GX in play, and we have the Lucamine Prism Star turn as well. So even though it is, I mean, it's not really a one-prizer matchup with how they're playing it out now, because it looks like they're going to be pretty aggressive with the Jolteon here. We might have to go for a 2-shot on this first thing. They're definitely going to be knocking us out, I think, for sure. You know, either with a switch card moving this or a Guzma. They've already used the E-Power, so I am pretty confident we're going to be getting knocked out here. Yeah, there's the Guzma. Bring up one of my Blacephalons. Knock it out with the Head Bolt. I don't think they would GX attack here. I would actually like it if they did GX attack here, because it'll kind of buy us a little bit of time. But I think the DG, if I was them, I would go with the Head Bolt, just kind of assuming that I won't be able to get the knockout on my turn. Which, with the current situation, I'm actually not too sure. Did they just retreat into the Jirachi? Interesting. Okay. A little bit confused by that. They might have a switch in hand, though, and want a Stellar Wish dig for some more cards. A whiff on the Stellar Wish. You don't see those all the time. Yeah, and then there's a switch. I was like assuming, yeah, so they probably don't have a whole lot going on in the rest of the hand. Oh, they were just about a Dedenne, so that even makes more sense. All right, so there's a Dedenne on the board now, which is another 2 prizes we can look to pick up. A little bit more awkward to pick up because I don't think the Dedenne will ever be sitting in the active like the Jolteon is. So it'll be hard for us to, you know, get him up here and, you know, knock him out. But the later the game goes, the more likely we are to find our Guzma plus a combination of cards that will allow us to bring it into the active and knock it out. So it's definitely possible to get rid of that Dedenne. We're definitely going to be looking to. Fire Crystal top deck. So one of the things I did not want to see was a Fire Crystal off the top. Definitely would have, there was a ton of other cards I would have preferred to have seen. Going down a Fire Crystal, not good. Not good. I mean, we do have the Victini to recover energy eventually. But ideally, it just doesn't happen, man. Ideally, it just doesn't happen. Alright, going in here, drawing 3 cards. Not quite enough to take a knockout. Actually, we just don't have energy at all right now. I'm trying to think of what I could potentially nest ball for. Man, this one is not looking good. Once again, we're looking in like in a rough spot. I'm gonna go to attach to the bench and then just go with the Blazer, I guess. Off the active. We know where our baby Blacephalon is, but that's not gonna do a whole lot for us. Go ahead and punch his Jolteon for 10. We will be able to recover the energy with the retrieval and the crystal, but we didn't get a Wishful Baton, and we don't have another welder in our hand. So we're kind of in a tough spot here. I guess I could have nest balled for the Blacephalon GX, and then had them knock that out. Use that next turn. They would knock that out. Maybe it would take them 2 turns to knock it out even, and then I could have gone in with the Lucine Prism Star to protect this Blacephalon. Maybe that was the better play to look for to set up. Oh, no, that wouldn't have quite worked. I'm probably gonna knock out this guy. Never mind. I'm losing it a little bit here. All right, there is the switch plus switch into Jirachi, I believe, and then Stellar Wish into the escape board into the Zapdos. So we are getting Thunderous Assaulted here for the 80 damage. Nothing to really worry about yet. There's a Wishful Baton. Still not doing relevant damage though, because we only have the 2 fire in hand, and even if we had attached to the active, we still wouldn't be doing relevant damage. So I guess it's just Baton to the active, and then Blazer. Once again, flip one here. Acrobike, now we know where an Acrobike is. Not gonna be super beneficial. There's that 10 damage to the Zapdos. Yeah, so we'll hopefully be able to attack next turn, unless they do play Field Blower, in which case we'll probably be losing our Wishful Baton and getting knocked out. But hopefully they knock us out. Energy goes to the bench. Oh, there's a Guzma from our opponent. They could be setting up to use Electro Bullet to knock them both out in the same turn. That would be super annoying to deal with. I think that is their 3rd Guzma. So it's actually would be reasonably safe for us to bench our Blacephalon GX here. That would actually be like reasonably safe, and I think we will be benching him here for sure. Here's the knockout on our active Blacephalon, finally. With the Swift Run GX, so we can't actually attack our opponent. So I think it has to be Blacephalon GX here off an S-Ball. They'll knock this out, and then we can Lucamine Prism Star on the following turn. Yeah, so we're going to grab the Blacephalon GX. I'm going to go ahead and attach them as well. And then another Blazer. There's the greens. It would be nice if that was in our hand. No damage to the Jolteon, and then over to our opponent. Yeah, we're going to be getting knocked out for sure, whether it's from the Electro Bullet or probably a Zapdos, to be honest. They'll probably knock us out with a Zapdos. We'll be able to finally get a knockout with the Lucamine Prism Star. We'll probably get ourselves this Acrobike, because we really would need to find a Welder to try and take another knockout on the following turn with the Blacephalon GX again. Then again on the following turn. So yeah, here's the knockout with the Zapdos. We get to save the energy, which is great. But yeah, then I said, gotta grab the Acrobike, I think, because I think we need to find a Welder so we can hopefully continuously use this Blacephalon GX for a couple turns. We will get the Lucamine Prism Star, but then from there, gonna need a Welder turn. We can actually take knockouts with this thing. There's a Fire Energy. So it's just gonna be the attach plus Lucamine Prism. And then the Mind Blown. Get rid of 2. Knock out the Zapdos. Alright. Getting there. Gonna grab the Acrobike. I mean, I guess I could just burst GX next turn. It's pretty unlikely that I think that they knock out our Blacephalon GX, so he's protected for a turn. We could just burst GX, but I think I really need to need to find Welder. I mean, I could have gone for the greens actually and played the greens for Welder plus Stretcher and gotten back one of these baby Blacephalons. That would have been okay as well, I think. That would have definitely been fine as well, actually. Maybe that was the play to go for. Get the greens, get a Stretcher, get a Welder for the next turn. Could hold both those, go with a Burst GX, or we could still go with a Mind Blown depending on how their turn plays out and what ends up in their active, and then kind of go from there. There's a Let Loose Marshadow, so it looks like we're going to get Let Loose probably no matter what was happening. Hope Although I don't know if I would let loose me if you know they've been dead drawn. I could have put the Wishable Talon on the Blacephalon GX for the way the board is currently positioned. It wouldn't have been that bad. Let's see. There's a Stretcher. There's 2 Pokegears and an Ultra Space. All right. Definitely want to save that as a counter stadium. The Pokegears will hopefully find us a greens because we don't have any energy in our hand. So it wouldn't do much as a welder. There's a Thunderous Assault for nothing. And it looks like it is going to be a Burst GX. So yeah, Pokegear number 1. There's a greens. All right. We're in business now. We're going to go ahead and play the greens. Get ourselves a welder and a flint. We have plenty of energy in here, yeah. So welder plus flint. All right, we're making progress here. I'm going to flint away Ultra Space and Pokegear. And I'm debating if I want to actually knock out the active or not. I think I want to just Burst GX and potentially stay stuck. I also don't want to bench anything to not give them a Guzma target as well. So I think I'm just going to go with Attach and Burst GX and hope for the best off that. Maybe this gets stuck for a turn. That would be great. We're in a welder next turn. We don't need another baby Blacephalon, and we'd want everything else. I think we're actually going to get rid of the baby Blacephalon here with the Burst GX, and kind of just hope they don't knock us out. I mean, they would need quite a bit. They're down 2 E-Power and 2 Choice Band, I believe. So they would need... can they even get the knockout here on this turn? Double E-Power wouldn't even let this thing get the knockout. So I don't think they can. Looks like they're setting up for the hard retreat on the Zapdos. That's exactly the kind of situation I was trying to create here. So we'll see where this goes. With the Stellar Wish, do they have a switch card? If not, maybe the Blacephalon GX lives for another turn and gets another prize, and then we'd be in an interesting position for sure. If the Jirachi just stays stuck in the active, we get a knockout on the Jirachi with the Mind Blown. Once again, I don't think I would Stretcher the Blacephalon back yet. I maybe wouldn't attach though, because if I attach, then I get into a situation where what's it called, GX? Coco GX would actually be able to knock me out, so I'd have to be careful of that. Actually, they can get access to Coco GX this turn. So we're still in we're currently in that situation where Coco GX knocks us out with 1 modifier. Well, getting a little scary. Do they have the Coco GX plus a modifier? They only have 2 E-Powers left, like I said. Probably, maybe 1 Ultra Ball left, maybe none. These decks don't always play the 4 Ultra Ball. It's very possible this Jirachi gets stuck here for another turn. And I think we would just try and abuse the fact that it's stuck. And just go with, I could bench something. There's a Zeraora GX. Uh-oh, that guy's a little scary. Once again, only need 1 modifier, but they have to somehow get 3 energy on him. Or 2, it's like 2 E-Switches. There's 1 E-Switch. Oh no. Do they have it all? They would need E-Switch, 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 energy, E-Switch, E-Switch, energy, mountain. So it is a little bit scary that we're going to get knocked out next turn. So I think we have to go with the Blacephalon, putting him on the bench. I don't want to. But it's better safe than sorry. So we are going to get the baby Blacephalon here. And we're going to put him in play and welder to him. Man, could I risk it? Could I go for the Mind Blown, discard 1 energy, knock out this Jirachi? They didn't do a whole ton on their last turn. I don't even think they played a draw supporter. If they had a draw supporter, they definitely would have played one. So maybe they just can't knock this out. If I bench him... I mean, do I really... If I put too much... The thing is, I don't want to put too much energy in play, so then Coco GX can knock me out. I want to, like... So if I put the baby Blacephalon in play... and they don't knock me. If they knock me out, I think they win anyways. That's what I'm kind of debating here. So if they knock out my Blacephalon GX next turn, I think they win anyway. So I just want to reduce the wait for them to knock it out. So I think I'm gonna see if this can find me a greens. Finds me nothing. And I think I'm just gonna go with a Mind Blown with 1 energy here. Actually, yeah, I think this is the better play overall. Knock out the Jirachi. So we got no supporter this turn. We're definitely gonna use Welder next turn. So I think I'm just gonna get a different card. And energy is great here. Yeah, we're just gonna hope they can't knock this out. If they have it, they have it. They didn't play a draw supporter last turn, so that's kind of what I'm playing off of here. Is they might not have a draw supporter this turn. That might be enough for us to be able to squeak out a win. Because I think if they knock out this next turn, anyways, I think we lose. So I guess I could have benched the Blacephalon, but it's unlikely our hand gets shuffled again. I don't want to give him another target to like KO the Blacephalon and then have another turn on the following turn where they get the knock. There's a Volkner. That's scary. That's energy. Ooh, energy E-Switch. They also would need a switch and a escape rope energy might work as well for them. We'll see if they have it here. There's the energy. They would also need another E-Switch. Looks like they have it here if they're sending him up or if they're using this. Jolteon's making its way active though, so maybe they're just gonna hit us for 110. That's fine with me. Yep, it is gonna be the head bolt for 110. All right, we're still in it. Head bolt for 110, not quite enough. Let's see here. So we need a lot of energy in play to knock this thing out. So the Blacephalon has to come down. I don't know how many energy I have left in the deck, so I'm debating if it's worth it to flint away to find some more energy. I think I only have 2 energy left in the deck, so I don't think it is worth it. I could dig for them later if I have to. We actually kind of need one more Blacephalon here. No stretcher. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and attach to this guy. This here as well, and then we're gonna go with that Mind Blown. 2, 3, 4 for the knockout. We do need quite a bit to be able to get the knockout on the next turn as well, though. Greens won't cut it, so we need something else. That's not going to cut it. We need a welder or a way to get a welder. There's a heat factory. That'll draw some cards. We have 2 welders left in the deck, so we can definitely maybe pull this one off. Yeah, so I think I played it correctly up to this point. We do have the, what's it called? The Wishable Baton on the bench guy as well. So even if they have Guzma knock out our bench Blacephalon, we get that energy put on our Blacephalon. We're still in the same spot where we need a welder, and we would hope the Heat Factory would find it for us. So we'll see what our opponents got here. They got themselves that E-Power. Not really relevant anymore. We'll see what they're going to knock us out with. It makes most sense to knock us out with their aura because it has the most HP, and we only have 1 prize card left, so we'll see if they have it. There's a Pikachu. I did not expect that to make its way down. Hopefully they can't use that thing. That thing would be hard to knock out. Well, actually, with our current hand, nope, we only have 1 fire in the discard pile. They're going with the Zapdos. That's definitely a mistake from our opponent using the Zapdos. That's like the easiest thing for us to knock out here. Let's see if it works out. Are we out of energy, actually? I think we might be. Okay, 7, 8... oh, there's the welder top deck. All right. So let's see. We only need 3 energy to knock it out. So I'm gonna start with the flint and get rid of. Well, we can just get rid of 2 fire because we can get them back. Start with the flint. There was 2 left. So I think we would have been just short on knocking out the Zeraora if he had brought up the Zeraora. We have 5 total. But yeah, we would only be able to hit for 150. So a big mistake from our opponent there. In the end, not using the Zeraora. We had too many energy in our loss zone there to actually be able to like keep up. But we have just enough to knock out a Zapdos, so they definitely should have used the Zeraora. I'm curious as to what their thought process was behind that. They maybe didn't really notice the difference. But we are able to just barely squeak out a win here. I guess we would have had to like reach for the I don't even know if we could have pulled. We could have pulled out the Victini play actually if we had. No, Victini wouldn't have done enough either. So we're barely won that one on the back of our opponent's mistake. The rough draws in the mid game. We came up with some kind of game plan to squeak out some prizes, and then we're able to barely close it out in the end there. The MVP definitely was Blacephalon GX in that one. Let's go ahead and get into another one and see how that one goes. All right, getting into another one here. Up against the Hitmonchan deck. All right, I think a good matchup. I definitely want a Nest Ball first here actually because I don't want to Acrobike into a Blacephalon. I'd much rather Acrobike in something like a Fire Energy or Fire Energy. That way we can get the better welder off turn 1. I don't think we're getting knocked out turn 1, so they should definitely be going to the active here. Let's see what we draw here. Some more Fire Energy. I'm going to hold on to those because I want to welder 1 down, but I do not want to welder... I want to welder 1 down here, but I don't want to like attach and then welder 1 to the bench one. I want to use the extra Fire Energy in hand so I can just draw more cards next turn with welder. Well, for sure. What am I even saying? Do more damage next turn. Make sure I have enough damage to take a knockout. That's what I want to be saying. So we are playing against the Hitmonchan combo deck. I think this is probably definitely a very good matchup for us, especially with the Lucamine Prism, which is already in our hand. The card has been in our hand quite a bit, which is nice. The card, I think a big part of this, the strength of playing the greens build over something like the Jirachi build is definitely the Lucamine Prism Star. I wouldn't even hate the Lucamine Prism Star in the Jirachi build to protect your Blacephalons for a turn. That would still be like a pretty big deal. But yeah, in this build of the deck, definitely like one of the biggest factors as to why this deck can actually even operate, in my opinion, is just the Lucamine Prism Star, man. All right, they're getting off to a pretty aggressive start with the Jirachi. We're seeing stuff with Jirachi, but not much besides that. There he is, the hit and run Hitmonchan. They don't have the Diancie yet, so currently they're not hitting for very much damage, but wouldn't be surprised if they found it. There's the Diancie. Yeah, and then, yeah, we're going to go ahead and see that hit and run for 50 damage, only, though, to our Blacephalon. Make their way to the bench. I'm curious as to what they'll send up. Probably this Jirachi. I don't think they want to lose this guy quite yet. I'm fine with that happening, though, because that means we only need 1 energy. Take a knockout. Oh, they are sending up the Hitmon top, though. Alrighty. So, yeah, it's going to be the welder for 1. To the Blacephalon. We have 1 in there as well. Ooh, there's a flint. Perfect. Fiery Flint. I think we're getting rid of Fire plus Bills here for 4. And we're gonna get this knockout here with that Fireball Circus. Boom. Everything else looks really good. Fireball Circus. There we go. Knock out this Hitmon top. And now here's the turn where they can go into the other Hitmon guy. I completely forget his name. Was it Hitmon? What is this one? Hitmon top. Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee. That's the last one. Hitmonlee snipes for 80 to a bench Pokemon, so they could hit this guy, or 90, I think, actually. They can hit this guy for 90. And then after that, they can use this guy to do 60 to each of my Pokemon. So they'll be able to actually knock out both of these Blacephalons in one turn using the finishing combo. So on our turn, we definitely need to get another Blacephalon into play. Maybe I could have held off on benching this one, actually. Well, I guess not this turn. That would have been would that have been risky, though? Yeah, I guess if they had Kukui or something, or even this Dojo like they do have in their hand, we would have lost. So yeah, there's the 90, and then next turn, like I said, yeah, they're gonna be able to use the finishing combo to knock both these guys out. So we have to get another Blacephalon here. I think about what I want for sure off this greens. We have the knockout in hand, plenty of energy. We're gonna go greens, Nest Ball to grab ourselves another baby Blacephalon, and we could get the Wishful Baton. I don't really expect them to play Field Blower, but then we have no follow-up anyway, so I almost just want to grab a Welder, kind of see more cards. I think that is what I'm gonna go for here, is the Welder, and next turn I'll be able to Welder. I definitely kind of feel like I want to see more cards than what I'm currently seeing, so I think I want to go with the Welder here. Because we are doing it like this, I am just going to go ahead and, well, I don't want to attach yet, I guess. How many are in here? 4. I guess I'd rather keep them as Fire Crystals, yeah. Fireball Circus, discard 2, knockout, go down to 4 prize cards here. Whoop. Goodbye. There we go, get ourselves Fire Energy. Very nice. Yeah, so I could have gone with the Wishful Baton, and we would have been able to attack next turn. We had the Stretcher for another Blacephalon, but we wouldn't see any cards. I think going for the Welder is a little bit better. It's kind of unfortunate we just haven't seen a Wishful Baton to this point, like just drawn into one. Now there's 4 in the deck, but what you're going to do, sometimes you're not going to see everything you want, especially with a deck like this where you don't really, you kind of pick and choose what you see for the most part. So yeah, could have definitely played it a little bit differently. Let's see how it goes like this though. There's the Ultra Ball, there's the Hitmon top, so they're about to pull off the play. This guy will also take 60 damage, which is actually pretty annoying. That he's going to take 60 damage. So that means there's the potential that he gets knocked out next turn, which means we definitely have to go Stretcher for another Blacephalon. I'd like to Stretcher for 2 Blacephalon, I think, so I think I will Welder first. See if I get a Nest Ball, and then we could go Stretcher for 2 Blacephalons, get one out with a Nest Ball. If not, we're just going to go ahead and have to Stretcher for 1 and go with it that way, which isn't terrible to go with it that way. I just prefer to do it the other way. So we'll see what our top deck is, we'll see what the Welder gets us, and then we'll decide how we're going to play the Stretcher. From there. I mean, we could Stretcher 2 in immediately, but then if we whiff off the Welder, then we have to bench the Blacephalon GX, which we definitely do not want to do. I don't want to put this GX in play until we're going to be utilizing him, so I don't want to do that. There's a Let Loose. Oh no! So it looks like the Wishful Baton would have definitely been a little bit better. This is definitely potentially game ending here. Alright, the hand looks a little rough, but we can recover for sure. It's not the end of the world, it's just close to it. We have the Pokegear at the very least. We need to find us a greens off this Pokegear. The Welder is not quite going to cut it this time. Go ahead, Blacephalon, make its way to the active. We'll see what our top deck is. Crystal is pretty good though. And do that, and then we can go ahead and Welder to our active and look for the knockout. We have a lot of cards that will get us there. None of those are it though. Alright, we have the Lucamine Prism for next turn, but that's not a great move. And if we attach active, that doesn't feel great either, so we gotta go bench the dude and then Blazer, I guess. Yeah, the Baton would have been the better way to go. It looks like on that last one, the Let Loose, definitely a killer there, and I didn't overly think about that one happening, but oh well. I don't think there's any other way to play this out. No, I think it just has to be the Blazer. A Pokegear this turn, not really. Yeah, just go with the Blazer, see what we hit. Another Pokegear, so we know where the Pokegear's at. Not going to do a whole lot for us. Yeah, definitely could have drawn the knockout there. Could have hit a Crystal or something. Did not, unfortunately. We're a little bit stuck for a turn. They're kind of stuck themselves, though. They're not going to be able to pull off anything too huge. Here's an Escape Rope. I'm actually fine with the Escape Rope play happening. They're going to be able to punch our active for, what, 60 damage with the Dojo. That's really not that big of a deal. We can use the Pokegear to find a greens. Hopefully play the greens, reset, and then we'll look to use the Lucamine Prism Star. and get ourselves back ahead in the prize exchange. So yeah, I think them knocking out this would have definitely been more detrimental. Just hard retreating this Hitmon top. But I guess this guy doesn't have a basic energy, the basic fighting though. So actually the dojo wouldn't have done quite enough. I didn't really think about that. Alright, I guess a welder would be okay here. I mean, anything, ideally, please. Okay, greens. That'll do. We'll also go for a blazer. See if we can't get it to stick. Let's see, greens here. Definitely need a welder, our last welder. Maybe we don't need a welder because this guy's on the bench there now. But it's possible that we get Guzma knocked down, so I think we definitely need a welder. Better safe than sorry. And then we could go with the fire crystal. We could also just go with a heat factory here. Replace that dojo. I feel like they played quite a few stadiums and they have a pretty big hand. I'd rather just grab something to for sure secure me some fire energy. And I think we're gonna go for the blazer flip here. I'm trying to think of why I wouldn't want to. I think there's still one fire energy in the prize. I should have counted energy to confirm that there's a fire in the prizes, I guess. It's possible the Jirachi doesn't move though. That's not super like, well, it's possible. I'm just gonna go with the blazer here. Alright, know where the greens is. Hit it for 20. Not a huge deal. Yeah, I didn't actually check. I should have checked if there was a fire with prize or not. I'm kind of just playing under the assumption that there is, because there usually is when you play, what was it, 12 fire energy, so. Yeah, celebrate from our opponent. Guzma knockout would be a little bit annoying. There's the escape board, so they're definitely moving. They actually don't, once again, they actually don't knock out our active unless they have Kukui. The deck does play Kukui, so it's very possible they have the Kukui. So I guess attaching to the active isn't terrible here because of that. There's the Guzma. They still actually don't even knock out this guy, though, unless they find... I just don't think that they need a basic fighting. A basic fighting would actually make it work. If they have a basic fighting put on this guy, they'd be able to knock us out. So that would work, actually. There's an Ultra Ball. Not basic fighting, but they can't find that with that. So they might just be hitting us for 50, which is definitely ideal for us. Oh, no, there's the basic fighting. So we're going to be able to Lucamine Prism Star, but that wouldn't quite do enough. So I don't think we're going to be able to go with the Lucamine Prism Star play. I think we still have to go with the Blacephalon, take this knockout. They can't knock this Blacephalon out, though, on their next turn, which is pretty good for us. So we might... Actually, if we only have this guy in play... No, the Kukui knockout. So we can't risk getting Kukui'd, I guess. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and just welder. I think we're still in a fine spot. How many welder do we have left? Is that our last welder? I think that is. Check. That is our last welder. So that is a little bit annoying. Or might be a little bit tough to deal with, but we'll be fine. Go ahead and get ourselves a Blacephalon. Oh, did I stretch it for multiple there? No, I think we should. This is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Acrobike now. Get out the deck. There's the other stretcher. I definitely want that. Not a what's it called though. We definitely want a Wishful Baton. There's still 4 in the deck. So we're definitely gonna go Heat Factory here to try and get ourselves a Wishful Baton. There we go, finally. Wishful Baton to the active. Just in case he does get knocked out, it's possible. So better safe than sorry here. A knockout. And if they actually don't take a prize this turn, which it is possible, I think I do just want the greens here. Greens is pretty good. Yeah. So if they don't take a prize here, so knowing where the greens are was actually pretty good. Yeah. If they don't take a prize here, which is very possible they don't, they do need that Kukui, like I've been saying. There's a dojo that only gets them up to 60 damage out, so they do need Kukui. We can actually play down the Lucamine Prism Star next turn and still get value out of it. And give ourselves the potential to actually win this game and get back ahead in the prize trade. If not, we're going to look to take a knockout with Blacephalon. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. If they knock this guy out, well, they got the Hitmonlee. But that actually, once again, that doesn't get them off 3 prize cards. Unless they move this guy to the bench. That would be the only thing. So if not, we actually will get the use out of the Lucamine Prism Star, which is huge. Yep, there's a special combo 90 to the bench. So we can use the Lucamine Prism Star. So yeah, we're actually back in this one for sure. I'm going to go with... Take a look here. I think all I would ever want is the Blacephalon. So I'm going to go ahead and grab him now. And that way, if I get let loose again or judged, we can Nest Ball for him. I'm going to go ahead and grab these. And then... Ooh, can't forget to play that. The Lucamine Prism Star, the biggest part of our turn. And Fireball Circus, discard 2 energy. And yeah, we can't get hit next turn. We did it. Alright, we got ourselves the Lucamine Prism Star advantage. I'm going to take something else. I don't really want to Poke Gear. Fire Energy is definitely better. Definitely take that. But I think we have this one pretty much locked up here, actually. We'll see what our opponent has on their turn, but it shouldn't be anything super relevant at all, because once again, we did get the Lucamine Prism Star off, so I think we have, like I said, I think we have this one pretty much locked up. There's a Guzma. Ooh, that's actually pretty annoying. They're going to be able to bring up our Blacephalon and trap him in the active for a turn. if they want. So that would actually be pretty annoying because we have no way to move him. This deck, unfortunately, is not playing any switch card. It's just going to be a hit and run, though. They're not going with the Guzma play. It's going to run to a Jirachi. That's fine with me. Let's see here. Ooh, I think we can just start with the greens. Get ourselves some stuff to set up for the win on the next turn. I think just like this plus another retrieval would be fine. Fire Crystal Energy Retrieval. I'm debating if I want to bench the Blacephalon GX or not. I don't think they would have a way to one-shot it, so I think we could bench this and then go ahead and attach to it. Set up. I would actually attach here, I think, just in case. Yeah, that's a safer attachment there. And then we can Energy Retrieval. Just in case he gets Guzma up, we can retreat it. If not, we can just Burst GX with this guy. And yeah, Fireball Circus, discard 1. Knock out the Jirachi. They can stretch it for the Let Loose now at this point. No idea what this is. S-ball the whole time. Alright, so I definitely would have preferred the Pokegear there. There was no Fire Energy prized. I was kind of playing under the assumption there was. So I could have maybe not gone as aggressive with the Blazers as I did. Kind of chilled out a little bit on the... But I think we have this one pretty much locked up. They Guzma this guy, and don't knock out either of these. They can't use... What's it called this turn? They cannot use the special combo off the Hitmonchan. They can use the finishing combo. That would knock out both of these. Yeah, that would knock out both of these, but then we can just go ahead and use Burst GX to win the game. If they Guzma up this guy, try and trap him active, we can then hard retreat him to this guy, and then use Fireball Circus for the knockout. If they knock out both these, like I said, we got the Burst GX, so I think we have this one pretty much locked up. If they surprise me and somehow knock out our Blacephalon GX and another of these guys, well, and I did not see that coming, but I don't think there's any way for them to be able to possibly do that, so I think we're going to be okay. We'll see here. There's their Stellar Wish finally. Yeah, and we'll see where it goes from here, but I think we have this one pretty much locked up. I guess the only thing I can think of that would potentially stop us from winning this game would be like a Let Loose and knock out both our Blacephalons with the special combo, and then with energy to use the Burst GX. So that's the only thing I can currently think of that would stop us from winning the game. That's kind of a lot for our opponent to have. We'll see if they have it. There's the attach to the Hitmonchan. I don't think they... Oh, can they KO us with the Magnum Punch, actually? Let's see. 140. That's not quite enough, I don't think. They are going with... Do they have enough? That shouldn't be enough. Magnum Punch. 140. 160 with the Diancie. I didn't even think they'd be able to get that much damage off. That's a lot of damage, but not quite enough. We do have the Burst GX there to close out the game. Yeah, I didn't think they'd be able to get that close. That's actually pretty close, but I don't think they have any other way to get that extra 20 damage. So that we weren't really ever in real danger. I don't really know what the deck fully plays, though, so I'm always going to be a little bit nervous of what could possibly happen there. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it on the video on the Baby Blacephalon deck. Like I said, not a huge fan of Green's Engine right now. I feel like there's a lot of ways to kind of play around it pretty aggressively and leave the deck constantly with awkward hands and like trying to dig yourself out of those situations. I do really like Greens as a card. It's just like Let Loose is a little bit too strong right now, I think. And a little bit too played. Maybe once Let Loose either gets rotated or stop seeing play, we'll definitely see Greens become a lot better of a card. But until then, still a little bit iffy on the Greens. Still a very fun deck to play, the Baby Blacephalon with Greens. I really do enjoy playing the card Greens. You always get to like get whatever cards you want, be able to strategy around that, and kind of like develop your game plan from there. It's just it's too easy to disrupt the hand currently, I think, for it to be, you know, like a tier 1 deck. But still fun nonetheless. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Links for everything in the description below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.